Today, we're talking about an issue that affects pretty much all of us, the information our computers share. Our goal here is simple, to help you stay aware, stay calm, and feel like you're in control. This isn't about fear. It's really just about understanding what's going on.
So it really begs the question, right? What does your PC share when you're not actually looking? In this explainer, we're going to walk through what's happening behind the scenes, why it matters, and most importantly, how you can take back the reins.
Okay, so let's dive in. To get a handle on modern privacy, we first have to talk about your PC's connection to the cloud. Ever since Windows 10 came out, the whole system has been designed to be deeply connected to the internet. This is for handy features like automatic updates, backups, and syncing your files and settings across different devices.
Now, because of that constant connection, it means your PC can, and often does, quietly share information about you and your activity in the background. This is just a core part of how modern operating systems are built, and it's something we should all be aware of. All right, so how exactly does Windows gather all this data? Let's break this down into a few simple parts so we can see what's actually being shared. Windows can collect a whole range of information. You've got things like diagnostic and telemetry data. That's mostly to help Microsoft find and fix bugs. But it can also include your activity history, which is used to sync your work across devices. And then there's stuff like your search queries, your physical location, and even a unique advertising ID that's used to show you ads that are tailored to you. You've probably heard this word thrown around, telemetry. It sounds super technical, but the concept is actually pretty simple. It's just the process of collecting system data, like crash reports or performance info, to help developers make the software better. So the intention is good, but it's important to know that it does involve sending your data out. So, okay, why does any of this actually matter in the real world? Let's look at a quick research example that kind of puts it all into perspective. So back in 2021, some privacy researchers found something pretty interesting. They discovered that even when people went in and turned off most of the privacy settings they could find, their Windows systems were still sending some data back to Microsoft, things like the device's unique ID and some basic info about which apps were being used. It really shows you how much those default settings matter. And that's the key, really. The reason data collection works so quietly is because it's usually on by default. We just assume our settings are private from the get-go, but unless we actively go in and check them, the system is just going to operate as it was designed, and that includes sharing some data. But here is the good news, and it's the most important part of all of this. You are in control. So let's walk through some simple, clear steps that you can take right now to manage what your computer shares. We're going to look at 4 key actions you can take. We'll cover adjusting your main privacy settings, limiting that telemetry data we talked about, choosing to use a local account, and disabling Cortana. It's worth taking just a minute to go through these one by one. First up, and this is the most direct step, is to just go right into your main settings menu. Look for a section called Privacy and Security. Once you're in there, you'll find these simple on-off switches for things like location tracking, sending your voice data, and that advertising ID. Turning these off is a really great first move. Okay, next up is that telemetry data. In that same privacy section, you'll find a page for diagnostics and feedback. You'll probably see that it's set to send optional data by default. If you change this to required, you limit the data being sent to only the absolute essentials for keeping Windows secure and up to date. This is a really crucial setting to check. Now, this next one is a big one. When you first set up your PC, Windows really encourages you to use a Microsoft account. That's what syncs everything to the cloud. But for more privacy, you can choose to use a local account instead. This keeps all your data, all your files, and your settings stored only on that one computer. It's not linked to an online profile at all. So if there's one single principle to take away from all this, it's this one. Always stop, think, and check your settings. It doesn't matter if you're installing a new app or setting up a brand new computer. Just take that extra moment to look at the privacy options. Don't just click through on the defaults. The whole goal here is not to fear technology, but just to stay informed and be a little bit cautious. Honestly, just knowing how your system works is a really powerful form of protection. When you're aware, you stay safe. So I'll leave you with this question. After watching this, what is the one setting that you will go and check on your own computer? Remember, awareness is protection. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay aware, and maybe share this information with your family.